you, everybody? I'm still a. Let's go and starting scene. Yeah. What? Okay. There it is. How are you, paranormal explorers? How are you, my friends? Big shout to Michelle McCrary, to Z. How are you, British Girl Explorer? Shannon, how are you? You guys. Oh, Sam from Hard and Paranormal is here. Oh, just wait a second. I'm gonna see myself on my live, actually. Wait, just. What the heck? Not even live. Am I live? Yes, I'm live. And congratulations to Helena. Helena, sorry I can't be there, girl, but I'm all heart with you. There you go, Sam. You're a mod now. All right. There you go, my friends. I'm gonna have a guest with me tonight. Hey, and Anne is in the house, and my friend Dom is in the chat right now, but he's gonna be joining me tonight, my friends. We're gonna have a little history course. I'm gonna explain myself because I've seen creators go online saying they're chasing Wendigos and they're sleeping in the most haunted forest in the US and they're like sleeping in the mountains in Colorado chasing the Wendigo. They are wrong. Okay? The Wendigo is. I hate when people do culture appropriation, okay? Because the legend comes from Quebec and it comes from my region where I live, all right? And the story was first written by a Jesuit monk. So, the story, you're gonna read the story with me. I'm gonna show you all the facts, historical facts, historical documents that they were written by people a long time ago, but they wrote it. All right? And I'm going to explain the context of the time. So I'm going to bring my buddy, Dominic, from 13 Spirits Paranormal. How are you, bud? Oh, Dom.
Hello.
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 Yeah, you're here. You're live, Dom.
Okay, I did. I didn't see my face on the screen. So, hi guys, how's it going? Hope everybody's having a good evening, and thank you, Hardy, for inviting me on this panel. So,
Man, it's all natural because Dominic, just like me, well, he lives in Quebec, lives in Montreal, and
mm-hmm.
Montreal was an area where the Algonquin nation was roaming.
Yes, sir.
So, and Dominic knows that the Wendigo legend is a legend. Okay? Because,
Um, Legend.
well,
Let's say okay. If you want to go there, let's say legend, yeah. But also, there's proven facts, written facts in books of people in the late 1500s, beginning of 1600s, talking about the Wendigo. So
yeah, but they heard it from the native.
yeah, it's word to mouth. It's like the
Yeah.
Arab phone and stuff like that. But a
Uh,
lot of natives, if you go to on the native side, a lot of natives even now still speak about the Wendigo.
yeah. And me, I was told a story by a 94-year-old Atikamek from where I live, and she knows the legend.
Mm-hmm.
And when you'll see the context of the time, you will understand why the legend was created. Back before the explorers came in, that was the map of the Algonquin speaking nations. Okay? You have nothing in Colorado. I'm going to blow it up a bit. All right? Just so everybody sees it good. Come on. Don't want to blow? There you go. Like that. There you go. Right? So, do you see Algonquin speaking people in Colorado? I don't see them. Not even in the center. And probably those nations were decimated by probably the Sioux or other warrior nations because the Algonquins were not hunters. Well, they were hunters, but they were not warriors. They were hunter gatherers nations. Okay? And back in those times, you had those warrior nations like the Iroquois, the Sioux, all those that you have like in the Midwest U.S. All right, but us in the northwest, in the northeast, sorry, we had the Iroquois, and those guys were vicious.
Mm-hmm.
They were killers. They were born and raised as killers. Okay? And they were roaming those forests back then. And they were very dangerous. And in the Algonquins, well, you had those young bucks that wanted to be warriors and wanted to go wander in the forest. So to scare them off, well, they just said that uh, they just described how the Iroquois warriors were fighting, like hiding behind trees, popping out, hexing you, and vanishing. That was their method of fighting. So just imagine you're attacked by like shadows coming out of nowhere, and you see a man eating the heart of another one. In the Iroquois nations, back before the explorers came, it was a custom to eat the heart of your victims. Yep.
The reason I'll just add up onto what you're saying, Hardy. Actually, it was also, yes, they were vicious warriors. They were avid hunters. Um, the reason why they would take the heart, it was also a mark of respect for the enemy. Even if they were enemies, it was a mark of respect, and also it's said in different Native Americans cultures that when you do eat the heart, let's say for animals and stuff, you will
He the soul.
take the soul and make it go to what they call the blue skies
Yeah,
heaven. So
exactly.
So it was
So
a part. It was a mark of respect to eat the heart. Yeah, they even do that. I have friends on a res here. When
yep,
they do hunt, they will eat like the heart like directly
exactly
where
of the
they killed
moose
the
of the
beast. Yeah,
deer. Yeah,
yeah.
they still do it. Yeah, I know, and that's where the legend was born. Okay, so and just for a fact, I live about around there. Dominic lives about around there. And we have Sam from Ardent Paranormal that lives probably around this area. And Z, you're in Cornwall, I think. Well, in Ontario. This is Ontario. So this is all Algonquin Nation. So even in Manitoba, even in Saskatchewan, it's hard, even for us Canadians. Saskatchewan. So we have, you're gonna have a laugh a bit.
I just call it SK, man. Yeah, Saskatchewan, pretty hard, yeah, to say, but yeah. And
Yeah.
Z lives about an hour 15, an hour 20 from me.
Oh, she lives near the border, so oh well. And just saw Nicole came in. Hello, Nicole. Yeah,
Hello, 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 hello,
using
hello.
OBS, and it's working fine. Nothing blew up
For the moment, let's
for
cross
the
our
moment.
fingers.
For the moment. This is, my friends, the definition and the history taken from the Canadian Encyclopedia. Yes, we
Hmm.
have the Canadian Encyclopedia. And this is the official encyclopedia of the Canadian government. All information taking in there during my kids running. All the informations in there are taken from the National Archives. So everything in there is accurate, right?
Hmm.
So
I like to refer to the Canadian encyclopedia when I do research and stuff like that. But yeah,
it's it's all you need is in there. You won't go through all the documents, all those historical documents that we don't have access to because we're not historians. To have access to those documents, you have to be an historian. So there you go. A Wendigo or a Wendigo is a supernatural being belonging to the spiritual traditions of the Algonquin speaking First Nations of North America. Wendigos are described as powerful monsters that have desire to kill and eat their victims. Well, that looks like the Iroquois. Hmm? In most legends, humans transform into Wendigos because of their greed or weakness. Another way to scare the children. You're too greedy or you weak. And back and Dom, you will vouch for that probably in the First Nations being weak. It's not taking good.
they once again, you're absolutely right. One of the things that they try and teach, especially the young men, women a little bit less, but the young men, since birth, they will teach them to be a man in their ways of doing and stuff like that.
Exactly.
They will build a warrior without fear. So technically technically they're not afraid of nothing. Take any Native American, he's not afraid of heights, of jumping, stuff like that. Why?
Exactly.
Because that was inculcated to him as as he's growing up. They have values, they have things that there are set and bond. And this is something, even if you take them out of the res or the village or stuff like that, they will still have that mentality. They will adapt to the new environment, but they will still have their own mentality.
They're
So yeah,
really strong-willed people, and they have all my respect for that because it's in their DNA now. It was teach to them, so it started from the early age. So imagine from one generation to another. It's not, you don't even have to teach it anymore. It's in their in DNA. So various indigenous traditions consider Wendigos dangerous because of their thirst for blood and their ability to infect the otherwise healthy people or communities with evil. Wendigo legends are essentially cautionary tales about isolation and selfishness and the importance of community. So the the character was to show the kids how to well behave, or you will become a Wendigo.
it's a little bit like our folklore that we have in Quebec, also with the Bonhomme Satar and stuff like that. That was a similar to the native to keep those people in check, to keep them in the spirit of a Native American and not go out to the white man. And basically, it was that it was not to take the white man's way. Sorry for the people that are gonna take that badly, the way I'm saying it. But the native back in the day, what was it? They had that mentality. It was a family mentality. So native
Exactly.
family, a little bit like elsewhere. I know I'm going further, but a little bit like the Japan that was closed for a lot of time to the outworld because they were afraid of getting mis.
And the importance of the community in the Algonquins was really important because everything was roaming around the community. It was, like I said, hunter gatherers. They were not they would defend themselves if they were attacked. They had their warriors, their great hunters. They were good with a bow or a spear. So they were great to defend the community, but they wouldn't go and attack. So
No, contrary to other tribes of Native Americans, the Algonquins were like peaceful people.
exactly,
If you would step on their big toe, they would respond to that, but they wouldn't not be the ones seeking trouble or seeking war with the other tribes. They were more at peace. They were more like a trades type of people. They would like to trade with people, not do war. So they were
exactly.
more peaceful, the peaceful nation, but very dangerous warriors. When it
Yes,
was time to
yes,
defend themselves, to be
exactly.
at war, they
Yep,
were very dangerous warriors. Not to take lightly because they were peaceful and as a nation.
exactly. And those nations, and thank you for saying that, they were great with trading. They were great traders and let's say commercemen because they were going up and down two major, well, actually three major highways in their territories. One of them was called the Saguenay. It starts from the majestic Lac Saint Jean we have here, the St. John's Lake we have here in Quebec, and goes all the way down to the St. Lawrence River. And where I live, It's called the St. Maurice River. It's a little bit smaller, but it starts from a big basin we have up north. It's called the Gouin Basin, and it comes all the way down to a place they call Three Rivers because they have like small islands, but actually it makes four rivers, but they decided to say three, so. And you have the Outaouais River that is another highway for commerce, and it throws itself in where actually where the fleuve comes from the Great Lakes that we have here in Canada, and the Great Lakes were other places where Algonquin's nation were the trade with other nations down south. But you saw on the map, they were mainly stick on, where it is, there it is. They were stick right there around all the bodies of water and the Fleuve Saint Laurent that is actually right here. Well, the map is not really exact. Actually, the fleuve would come all the way down to the Great Lakes. But anyways, it's not really accurate, but you get the point. So let's go with the definition of the said Wendigo. According to most Algonquin oral traditions, a Wendigo is a cannibalistic monster that preys on the weak and the socially disconnected. Another trait that you don't want their kids going out. If you go bad, you'll be a Wendigo. So, in most versions of the legend, a human becomes a Wendigo after his or her spirit is corrupted by greed or weakness by extreme conditions, such as hunger or cold. In other legends, humans become Wendigos when possessed by a prowling spirit during a moment of weakness. It's always to say that to tell the kids to well behave, or they will become a Wendigo. And those kids would see the aftermath of battles and how the Iroquois could be vicious. So just scaring them that they would become a Wendigo or the Algonquins were Wendigos, well, we're scared the shit out of the kids. Depending on the many First Nation that speaks an Algonquin language, including the Abenaki, the Siksika, and the Siksika Nation, sadly doesn't exist anymore. It became extinct probably in early 1600. And we have the Mi'kmaq.
Sorry, just to cut 2 seconds into you. You're doing good. The tribe got extinct in the early, like you were saying, early 1600s. It was 1619, 1619 that they got that the whole whole nation got
Whoops.
extinct during battles. They got that was another peaceful, way peaceful. There were not warriors at all like the Algonquins, and they got crushed by Mohawks and other
Iroquois.
powerful nations that were fighting for that. Sorry to.
It's all right, man.
I just
I,
wanted to bring a date to you.
I had a brain fart on the date, so thanks, bud.
You're good. Sorry.
All right. And you have the Mi'kmaq. The Mi'kmaq nations, well, if Lomar is in the house tonight, you will know the Mi'kmaq nation because the Mi'kmaq nation are all around. It's the same as the Montagnais nation. All around is Gaspésie or New Brunswick or Nova Scotia. And you have the Algonquin Nation, the Ojibwe Nation, and the Innu Nation. All right? The spelling and pronunciation of the word Wendigo differs. You have in Abenaki, they say it a Wendigo. In, in Siksika, they called it a Wetigo. In Mi'kmaq, it's a Wendicook. In Algonquin, that one is a hard one. It's a Wintigo. That's a hard one. In Ojibwe, it's a Witigo, and in Innu, it's a Witika. Are all alternative versions of the same term. Well, you have other names such as Achin, Chinu, and Kiwak also are commonly used to refer as a Wendigo. All right? So we'll go for the appearance and the characteristics. They used to look like that little friend here. He looks nice. He's the village. Oops, sorry. My big hands again. There we go. There we go. The appearance and characteristics of the said Wendigo. Just as there are different versions of the word Wendigo, there are many variations of the creature's appearance and powers. Sometimes Wendigos are described as exceptionally thin, with the skull and skeleton pushing through his ash colored mummy skin like skin. Other stories describe the Wendigo as a well fleshed giant who gets proportionately larger the more it eats. I get larger when I eat too much. Do you, Dom?
I do get larger also when I eat too much junk food and stuff like that. But talking about the height and stuff like that depends on the place where you are in Canada. Okay, if you go to the prairies, they're talking about a tall, slim, a little bit like the Slim Man. They're talking
Yep.
about that, and more that he's gonna eat souls, more he's gonna get that go taller. Some like you said are more ashy color, zombie skin type. So depends on the region where you are. Um, different types of like people, and I know it's not the same thing, but if we talk about Bigfoot or Sasquatch, they have different versions of that. It's a little bit similar to the Wendigo. So
Exactly. And I think we have. I saw that the paranormies, they're doing something on the Wendigo. Well,
mhm.
they're right in the middle of Wendigo territory in Manitoba. So they will probably change my opinion to a legend. And, well, probably the native knew some things that we didn't know. Well,
But like I said, I go often on the res here, which is a Mohawk res, and they talk a lot about Wendigos, but they also talk about the other type we don't want to mix is a shapeshifter. Um,
no.
it's not the same thing, but they talk about both a lot about both. Younger people will talk more about the shapeshifter, but the old people the ones that been there, for a long time, from generation to generation, they will talk about the Wendigo, and they're not really shy. Some native places will be shy talking about different stuff. They're not shy of talking about the Wendigo
No, but even here we
whatsoever.
have a river named the Wendigo River,
You
where
also have a big reserve to hunt and fish, not far from your place. That's called the Povoalizu Wendigo.
yeah,
So
yeah. Well,
okay.
I used to where I the Wendigo River is.
Mm-hmm.
It's really far up north. It's right before coming to the Quebec community of well, sorry, forgot the name. Well, when you're there, you know that you're like really far from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
For
get
for
back
people
to
in the states trying to understand what we're talking about when we say way up north, we're talking about in the boonies,
oh
way
yeah.
way 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 far in the boonies.
If
Like,
you think you have large spaces in the U.S., come here,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
come here. We'll drop you up north, and afterward we'll talk. All right?
Mm-hmm.
I know you have big, large forests in the U.S., but over here up north, it's just nothing. Everything is
Yeah.
along the flood.
And further you go up, that north place, you're gonna hit ice and
Oh
snow,
yeah.
and yeah.
And the trees go smaller and smaller and smaller,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden you're on the surface of the moon.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh,
They're gonna say the Canadians are crazy.
hey, Camp Paranormal came in the house. Thank you for being here. And
Hi
okay,
everybody in the chat that I missed.
yeah, me too. I've seen Beth. Beth is here. Thank you for
Bet
being here.
Nichols,
I hope that you
Z,
hear. Sorry,
and
Don.
McLivin. No, go. Sorry.
I hope that you hear the story. You like that story because I want to clarify it because I know that some creators want to do videos and they want to show off and everything, but don't do cultural appropriation just because it's cool, right? That being said, according to other legends, the Wendigo has pointed or animal like ears with antlers or horns sprouting on its head. A Wendigo's eyes has been described as sunken or glowing like hot coals, sharp and pointy teeth, extremely bad breath, and body odor are also often trained of a Wendigo. Looks like a hobo that lives in Montreal. No, sorry.
Mhm. um,
Sorry.
I never saw a hobo looking like that in Montreal because I do cross a lot, doing what I do in Montreal, all the stuff. But yeah.
Sorry, that was too
No,
bad
that was
joke.
funny.
The Wendigo is usually, but not always, endowed with powers, such as a superhuman strength and stamina that allows it to stalk, overpower, and devour its victims. Wendigos are.
Apparently he should go to the Olympics, because some of the rumors, like I said, yes, extreme power, like he said, but apparently he's able to jump long distance, and yeah,
Shut
a lot of
up.
stuff that came out, from the natives saying that this can, well, first of all, he's quick, a little bit like if you want to go like that, like Flash.
Yeah.
So,
Just like I just wanted to do a pause because I
yeah,
saw Sheldos is here, and look what she sent me, and they're always on my desk.
that's cool.
There, look at the hog and the pin. That is shell dust. Thank you so much. I love them. I'm gonna
That's
put
so
them
cool.
back right there. Oh yeah. Hey, get on you kickstand. There you go. And the pin right by it. And I
Yeah,
have
so
my collection of Funko Pops. Sorry.
you you and your Funko Pops.
They're
Well,
cute, man.
I can't say nothing because I do have some too.
There you go.
Actually, we'll talk after. I have three that I want to get rid of. So if you want them, I'll give them to you.
Well, if I don't have them, I'll take them. All right.
I'll show them to you later on. But yeah, to come back to our things, um, we're talking about long teeth, extreme powers, stuff like that. They also have the ability to read minds.
Mm, yeah.
So if you think in your head, say, okay, I'm gonna try and trick him and do this and that, he's reading your mind already. He knows what you did, what you're about to do.
Yeah.
Extreme, like I said, extreme jumping from one point to another point quickly, stuff like that. Strong force, obviously not smelling real good, hygiene and stuff like that. It's a little bit like skunkman or stuff like that, but yeah. So
Yeah. So, and Wendigos are usually credited with exceptional eyesight, hearing, and the sense of smell, like an animal. They are said to move with the speed of the wind and have the ability to walk across deep snow or even over open water without sinking. So it's all like to show that it's a supernatural being, but that's the good side of it. According to some legends, Wendigos can be killed with a conventional weapon such as a club or firearms. Other legends claims that the Wendigo has to be somehow subdued, its icy heart cut out and then melted into a roaring fire. Ooh, that's a bit harsh. Still, other legends claim that only a knowledgeable First Nation spiritual leader, a shaman, can dispatch a Wendigo with a specific spell and ceremony. So, if you encounter a Wendigo, call a shaman. Let's go to the historical side of it. Then we'll come right in the heart of a part of my hometown. You will see. The Wendigo legend existed in Algonquin oral history for many centuries, long before Europeans arrived in North America. However, the first European written account of a Wendigo was by Paul le Jeune, a Jesuit missionary. Oh yeah, I knew that I would trip on this one. A
missionary.
Jesuit missionary who lived among the Algonquin people in the early 17th century in what is now Quebec. In a report to his peers in Paris in 1636, Lejeune wrote, "This devilish woman had that Wendigo had hidden some Atikamegwin. These are the tribe that live north of the river that is called Three Rivers. And Daddy will eat a great and many more of them if he were not called elsewhere." You see? So it was the story of an old lady. And the tribe that lives up north, the river, that is called the Three Rivers. Just go look at the video that I did about the Devil Hole. You remember Father Buteux that was thrown in the falls? Well, Paul Lejeune was actually part of one of the voyages of Father Buteux. Yep. And that Three Rivers that is called right there, it streams right in my backyard. So that's why. Hey, Lomar, what's up, bro? I think you're back in Halifax, are you? I think he's back in Halley. He's being getting his little bummy tan from the past days. Can't wait to see his video on Hinsdale. And this Friday, guys, oh my God. What an experience. Still here, Dom?
Still here?
All
I'm
right,
not on.
bro.
Hi, Lamar. Said hi in the chat. Hi, sir. Hope everything's good on your side. So yeah, I'm still here.
All right. So, I was, yeah. But that action, sort of a werewolf, would come in his place to devour them, even up to the French fort, that it will slaughter the French themselves. So the native were using a little bit of the Wendigo stories to frighten the French a bit.
There's also talking about the French, the port in the Trois Rivieres. There's also written subjects about that Wendigo, about the native talking about that, and some of the soldiers in the fort were starting to be scared of that thing. They would not go in the woods around the forts, or they would go, but like 20 soldiers to get wood to come
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to the fort. So they were starting to get in tune with that rumor that a Wendigo was in the woods
But
searching for the French.
the French were like always afraid of everything. And the native knew about all their belief about the devils and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And for them being fearless, well, let's just tell them children's stories to frighten them. And it works.
Mm-hmm.
Father Lejeune report demonstrate that the 17th century European believed in evil supernatural spirits just as strongly as their First Nations contemporaries.
Mm-hmm.
It's I think they were more afraid of them. In fact, Father Lejeune's report predates the Salem witch trials by nearly 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
just 60 years. So you see how the Europeans were like afraid of everything back then.
Hell yes, hell yes. A lot of, they had a lot of suspicions on everything. The waters, there were monsters in the waters, big octopuses that would, well, they called them the Kraken.
Yeah.
Uh, 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 on Earth, there was different types of demonic stuff for the church, the devil, the all sorts of types of stuff like that that the Europeans brought here to North America, but they already believed that on their continent, on the French continent, they already believed in those stuff, so they brought it here. Plus, hearing the stories about the natives
Mm.
and stuff, so that it just like gave them fuel to
Oh,
light up the fire, and the church back in the 16th, 1700s were ruling masters, so they would tell you anything, you would believe them, and you would follow the guidelines of the church.
hey, the missionaries in what became Canada continued to report legends of the Wendigo until well into the 20th century. So, can you imagine how afraid they were of that story? Stories could also be found on the western frontier in the 1800s among plain indigenous people and employees of the Hudson's Bay Company. The guys were going up north. They were trading with the guys down south. They were telling the stories that they heard up north.
Mm-hmm.
And those coureurs des bois that they went down the Mississippi River on their canoes. What kind of stories do you think they brought with them?
They had a lot of stories, like you said, and this was a thing back in the day, that you were talking about the Coureur de Bois. Um, they had a reputation of doing night stories at the campfire, so talking about those wendigos and devils and all sorts of the spirits and stuff like that. So they would bring that along. So they're going down the Mississippi River to do trade posts and stuff like that. That was often common about people talking about what's happening up north, giving
Yeah, the stories and
the
the
stories
news. It was the
and stuff
news
like
back
that.
in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Soul Watcher, how are you, brother? Happy to see you here, man. Some HBC traders records describe encounters with indigenous spiritual leaders claiming to descend into fits of religious passion. Indigenous people often accuse these people of being wendigos. HBC traders sometimes describe them as mad. In some cases, community members or relative of the accused kill the suspected Wendigo as a precaution. So some Europeans that was like saying that oh, it could be a Wendigo, so they will kill him as a precaution.
A little bit. I know we're mixing both stories, but a little bit like the witch trial. They
Yep.
were running after everybody. If you had a similar, they would hang you, burn you, and stuff like that because they had a doubt about you. So
Yep.
yeah,
And it was a madness back then because, like, in one example, three men killed a Cree spiritual leader, Abish Abishabis, after he became greedy and killed an indigenous family, which led others to believe that he was a Wendigo. Well, he was just greedy and he killed them. You you bring him to trial and you hang him, but So, and there we come to what we call the Wendigo psychosis. All right. Now we are starting to come to the science part of the, of the not lecture, but kind of yeah,
Storyline,
story.
or
Yeah. So what they call the Wendigo psychosis is in the early 20th century. The term Wendigo found its way in the Western medical vocabulary. It was used by early psychiatrists to refer to a mental condition in which patient felt possessed by cannibalistic desires. You know, a guy that name is what's his name again? Lecter, Annabelle
Ha-
Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah. Cannibalistic desires. Oblate missionary G.E. Saint-Don was the first to use the term in the 1920s while working in a Cree community in the western James Bay area. So you have mental issues even in the First Nations. You have mental issues in all the spheres of the life.
It's a planet. It's a planet thing. You can't. Yeah.
So there he met a woman who claimed that she saw strangers who wanted to kill and devour her. Saint-Don referred to the woman's mental condition as a psychoneurosis, a mental or behavioral disorder characterized by depression and anxiety. Over time, the condition came to be known as the Wendigo psychosis. However, whether this is a real affliction is still a highly disputed discussions among the medical community. So even the doctors can even come to a term to say, well, are they possessed or is it meant is it's a mental condition? Sadly.
Yeah, like Lomar is saying, he goes, I think some people, when they were on some shit back, they did
Oh,
back then too. Hell yes.
a
Mm-hmm.
glub glub.
Yeah, there was a, like like Harley was saying, it's not just to one particular place on the planet. It's the whole planet. A lot of people have different uh problems. Some it's psychological, some is mental, some it's physical. That's a planet thing. It's not
Exactly.
just for one particular type. So yeah,
So
but
the symbolism and meaning. Legends of the Wendigo reveal much about the beliefs, way of life, and social structures and traditions of the people who tell their stories. These stories, sorry. For some, Wendigo legends serve as a reminder of the importance of community, and more importantly, about what can happen when individuals are left outside of the community. One recipe for creating a Wendigo: extreme hunger, cold, and isolation. Wherever present and threatening facts of life for many First Nation people living in northern boreal forests. Over here, if you if you don't eat, you will freeze to death. period. The winters are so harsh up here. You will even last a night at minus 25. Those people did. Why? Because they stuck together.
Yeah, they knew how to take care of one and one another. Um,
Exactly.
One of the main problems today in today's society
Society.
society.
You're
Jesus
like,
Christ, we're both on is
wanna
a lot
drive?
of people are a lot of people are instead of being like united, we're all divided, we're all single people, and that's for everybody. Hardy, me, everybody. I'm not judging nobody and stuff like that. I'm just meaning that we're on our problems and not trying to unite as the nations were like way before. They were united. They would stay gathered together. They would move
Exactly.
from one part of the land to another part of the land. It was the
Exactly.
whole village that moved, not just one or two people.
Exactly. Yeah,
So
Lomar
a lot
said
of
some
MERS,
someone
a
found
lot of
some
MERS
mushrooms.
and stuff like that. We was lost along the way, but not just for the white man, also for any type of people, humans around the nation. So,
Yeah, sorry, Dom. Lomar said another one. He found some mushrooms. And hello, thanks,
probably
brother.
probably Lomar, they found a
Yeah,
lot
they
of
found a
stuff
whole stash.
in Montreal. Just a small example, in Montreal there was a park called the Parc Jean Mance, or the Fletcher Field. That field was a place where people would gather Sunday to eat what was similar. There was a plant growing there that was similar to poppy.
Mm,
They would eat that plant and hallucinate and watch the redcoats or the British soldiers do practice on the Fletcher Field. So there's actually, if you go to the Jardin Botanique, there's actually one sample left about that from that plant. They maybe have more, but one sample of that plant. But that plant was like you take it from the grass and you eat it right now. That's and yeah.
yeah, sorry, Dom. It's Shannon's going to bed. Good night, Shannon. Thank you for
Night,
coming
Shannon. Have
in.
a blessed night.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Thank you for
And
coming.
go follow my girl, British Girl Explorer. She's got another channel, Shanley So. What? She lives in North Devon and she show us her city. It is a beautiful city, so go and discover her. Alright? Thank you. Let's carry on. So, in fact, most Wendigo stories begin with an individual or small group trapped in the wilderness without food for an extended period alone and in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
Wendigos were said to kill lonely travelers or a member of a group and then take their on their uh, and then take on their personality temporarily before eventually killing other humors it encountered. Sorry. Oh boy, I'm tripping tonight. So, yes. Similarly, a Wendigo legendary greed represent attitudes about sharing in many indigenous culture. They would share practically everything, not their wives, but everything else. So, and even the indigenous back then, they were monogamous society. One warrior had one bride. That was common culture in our indigenous cultures. There are other cultures that have many wives, but but everything else they shared. They shared the food, they shared the skins, they shared everything. And even though some um, communities had what they called a longhouse, everybody would stay in the longhouse. And around the longhouse, they would have a fence or a perimeter to protect the community.
Hmm.
And they would corral like horses and all their cattle.
A lot of settlers, old people that came to North America to settle down to form what we know as North America. Um, they had what they call a community center, which was the gathering place for all the village. All the
Exactly.
village would be there. So a birthday for grandpa, the uncle of the niece of this, they would celebrate there. Messes, weddings, etc., etc. So they were mimicking a little bit what the natives were also doing with the longhouses, just to,
Exactly.
to do a difference between a longhouse and stuff like that. But the longhouse, as you say, is was also a place for cults, also a place for living, also a place for cooking food and sleeping.
Exactly. In the wilderness, human survival often depend on a communal cooperation and the sharing of food and possessions. Any individual who refused to share local resources, especially in time of great deprivation, was considered a monster. Like in any society, why do you call the greedy bastard that doesn't want to give you something? You call him a monster or a greedy bastard. Why you
Well,
call them
yeah,
names?
you use the term greedy bastard, like say, or you can say to another person, you're greedy, means you're trying to keep everything for yourself and not share out.
Yeah. According to historian Sean Smallman, the sorry, Wendigo is still seen as a symbol of greed. There you go, Dom. In modern society, as manifested in capitalism and corporate consumerism, however you want to call it. And it's true. Sorry, you guys. We became monsters. You became greedy because you want money. You become greedy because you want everything else. And what you do, what you become greedy, you don't think of others. You don't think of the well being of others.
I'll be back in 2 seconds. I have to
Yeah.
take a small break.
Okay. And well, while you're gone, why Dom is gone, I would like just to take a little fiver or probably just a little minute. Um, I don't know if, well, probably some of you know that a tragedy struck our province today. Uh, a deranged person decided to take a bus and run it into a daycare. Sorry. Two little ones lost their lives, and six are still in intensive care. And if you guys can take a minute and take a time to say a little prayer for the families and for those two little souls uh, that idiot decided to take. So that was a serious note. Sorry. So yeah, let's go back to our. Let's talk about monsters. All right. So he's a monster. The creature has also come to serve as a metaphor for the injustices that the indigenous people have faced in Canada, including residential schools, the restrictions of rights, and the Indian Act. The 60s coup and similarly assimilative policies. Sorry. Yeah, I am Marcus. How are you, bro? Yeah. Um, the settlers were really bad with the First Nations, and we should be ashamed of it. Armand Ruffo's film A Wendigo Tales in 2010. Go and check it out. For example, it uses the monster to tell a story about the intergenerational sorry intergenerational trauma of residential schools. For some indigenous persons, the Wendigo represent the forces of colonization, as he also imperialism. We came like Wendigos. We are the Wendigos. Don't go in the forest looking for them. Just look in the mirror. Yep.
Mhm.
It's how our ancestors treated. No, Marcus. The Wendigo and the Skinwalkers are two separate kind of legends. They probably kind of represent the same thing, but I'm no Skinwalker specialist. But I can say, and I affirm right here on this panel, that I am a specialist on Wendigos. I would defy anybody to come and just say that what I'm saying is not true. Okay? Those are historical documents.
Those, yeah, just well, what you read and stuff are also if you really want to see the real writings and stuff like that, not just Facebook, you can go to the archives of Canada,
National Archives of Canada.
and you will see the real transcripts of what was just read.
Exactly.
Those are actually facts of papers that you can back up and say, listen, this was written in this year, that year. There are actually preserved the documents.
Yeah. And those documents, I think in Europe, you can find some of those documents in Paris because those letters of Paul Langevin were sent to the King of France.
If I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, and probably some people can correct me. You can also have, if you have a special link at the Vatican where there's some documents online that you can search. If I'm not mistaken, the readings of Père Lejeune are in those archives also.
Exactly.
So there are actually a lot of things that you can find on those writings of Père Lejeune and other people, other French people, English, British also came to
Yep.
North America to
Yep.
settle. So there's a lot of stories also with the British talking about the Wendigo, and they do have also documents correlating to the legend of the Wendigo.
The Wendigo.
Um,
Exactly.
Marcus
So
was that was saying skinwalkers
yeah.
and things. The story, the general story, is a little bit similar, but a way different. One the skinwalker comes from a curse, which is a lot of people are talking about that because they saw stuff regarding the shapeshifter. The Wendigo is more vocal. There is not really proof of that. It's more mouth to mouth from generation and generation from on the native side, but also the French that started as settlers here in Quebec, British in the U.S. And stuff like that. We also had British here in Canada.
But I think the
A
Skinwalker
lot of
is more for down south, like New Mexico and
we no.
no.
We have we have skinwalkers here in Quebec.
Oh, okay.
Actually, the
I didn't know
reserve,
about that. I don't know about
the
Skinwalkers,
res,
man.
yeah, the res that's next to me is like I said, a Moaka or res. It's called La Réserve d'Oka, which you probably know next to the beach
No.
or the Oka Beach. Okay, so they have stories of skinwalkers actually now. I
Oh,
personally saw something on the res, and when I asked the elders what I saw on the res, some were telling me it's something, and some were telling that were like admin to it that it was the skinwalker. So we do have some here in Canada also.
well, we should go and take a look.
Yeah, that's the other problem.
Yeah, it's
To
on
go on a
res.
res, with a cam, bro. You know how it goes.
No,
It's
no,
not
no.
like in the
I'm
states.
not. I'm not saying go camping. I'm not
No,
just
no,
saying to go
no.
camping.
Even with a cam, because there's actually a lot of history here in Oka,
Yeah.
with the priest
Yeah.
that got here tried to convert the natives on this side to Canada to become a Catholic and stuff like that. So they still have parts of history and stuff like that. It's pretty hard
I know. I was just kidding.
to have the right. If you go there
Yeah, I
with
know.
your camera, you'll start filming, but
You'll get. Yeah.
have
You'll get.
you'll have
You're gonna get told to please move
yeah,
elsewhere.
they're gonna come and get you and kick you out,
Yeah.
basically.
Exactly.
So
Basically.
instead of doing problems, and I have a lot of fun going there. I do have a couple of privileges on that res compared to different people because I know them a lot. I go there a lot. I talk with elders, respect them. I will
Yeah.
pass sometimes half a day just listening to the stories the elders have. It's so amazing,
It's the
so
same
rich.
here when I go up in La Tuque. It's the same. I have friends that live there. They are native. Even one of our honorary lieutenant colonel here at the 62nd Regiment of Artillery was
Mm-hmm.
a native. Constant Awashish. A
Uh,
real nice man, really educated and
cool. Yeah,
brilliant man.
he was supposed to bring me inside a res not far from your neck of the woods, and it's it got canceled because the same day we were supposed to go shoot in the village, it came up that it was a big holiday for them and stuff like that. So it got canceled. Never got back. But yeah, I
But
know.
I,
I know.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you something after the
Yeah.
stream. And all right. let's go back to our story. In the pop culture, unlike the mythological creatures that have been popularized by European cultures for centuries, such as vampires and werewolves, Western popular culture has only discovered the Wendigo relatively recently. However, there are many films, graphic novels, Mathieu Missoff's Curse of the Wendigo, for example, television shows, and comic. Hey, Marvel, the Wendigo. Remember this? Based on the tale of the Wendigo.
Hmm.
The creature also inspired artworks by Norval Marisot and literary works by Basil H. Johnston, Margaret Atwood, Thomson Highway, and Joseph Boyden. These new media add to the diversity of the legend and to the ways that is interpreted by indigenous and un-indigenous people alike. So that new media that we have here that is called YouTube had given a new um, structure to do Wendigo, but when I see people in the middle of the woods in, like they say, in Colorado, and I'm not saying, and I'm not calling on anybody on any creator.
There's maybe a reason why people in Colorado are looking for the
No,
Wendigo.
no, dumb. It's not people in Colorado. Sorry, I didn't told you about it. It's a creator that comes from the New York area, and
Okay, but hold on.
he went
Col-
in the forest in
Colorado.
Colorado, and he said that he was chasing the skinwalker.
Okay, if he was in the Colorados, the mountain Colorados, if you cross a part of Colorados, you'll fall in the mountains of Canada, so Calgary on
Yeah,
the other
but
side.
he
But
was
that's why I was saying if it was in the mountains. But
mm,
now you're talking about the forest that I didn't hear properly. Sorry, I'm bad. I have nothing to say.
no, but
Discussion.
in their area that he was pretending to be,
Okay.
it's not even. You remember the map that I was showing?
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have red near of it.
So yeah.
If
So
he
no.
was there, but go see the shape and you'll understand. Okay. That being said, it's just because I'm getting sick and tired people faking stuff, saying that they are chasing a mythical creature. If you want to do show, say that you're putting a show. Don't appropriate my culture and saying that it is real, not it is supposed to be. Okay? Do everything else that you want. Even strip naked and print yourself in the snow and say that it is an extraterrestrial that is fallen from the sky and he melted away. I don't give a damn.
Um, I
And don't
wouldn't go
take my
naked
coat.
in the snow because it's fucking cold. But yeah, if it's your boat, float it. But yeah, yeah, I'm good for that.
But, you know, it's just so. I've seen so much good and great creators out there doing great investigations, bringing some kick-ass proof and not getting the views that they deserve. And that pisses me off. When I see people faking and getting that peanut butter on that sandwich like that thick, that kind of grinds my gears. And I know that those guys are good at what they do. And but just be careful next time that you do a video pretending that you are chasing or you're in the forest haunted by so and so creature. Verify your sources and where that creature originates from.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you do something, please do your research, your diligence, and stuff like that. But I'll be the devil advocate in here. A lot of people, hold on, you'll understand where I'm
Oh
going
yeah.
with this, Hardy. A lot of no, a lot of persons will mistake the Wendigo stories with the Skinwalkers. See in the chat, a lot of people are
Yep.
mistaking. So a lot of people will say Wendigo and they're talking about the Skinwalker. A lot of people are talking about Skinwalker and they're talking about Wendigo. You'll see that a lot. A lot of people confuse both of those things. It was that the case of that YouTuber you're talking about that he mistaken the name or stuff like that? I can tell. I didn't see that. I wasn't there. We weren't there as properly. But if you're using a term like you said, Wendigo, and you're not part of that region, just do your diligence, do your
Exactly.
your information. That's all we're saying. Not that you're not trying to do something, but just at least inform the people properly.
Just don't throw a name out there just not knowing what it is. Just because it's cool to say Wendigo. It scares the shit out of people.
Yeah, like Nicole is saying, some need the ching instead of the evidence because the ching will bring them
Exactly.
numbers,
And
money, and stuff like that. But also, it misinforms their members. It misinforms the people in general. Tend
it's
to bring
they go
confusion
around.
along.
Sorry, Dom. Because
No,
they go
go.
around pretending that they are paranormal investigators,
Yep.
and you make movies.
It's okay. In one sense, it's okay. Hold on. Let me come to the point you're talking. You want to do paranormal to have a lot of people on as members and stuff like that. That's not a problem.
No.
Please specify that you're doing that for entertainment and not bring the people on making them believe stuff because a lot of people once they believe stuff, even if you come with real paranormal and you bring real evidence, real proof, real stuff, they won't believe your shit.
And like Nicole is saying, throwing the word demon around. They're not demons all over the place.
I've been doing paranormal for more than 25 years now. Okay, since 1999, I've been in the field, been dealing with paranormal all my freaking life since I was born and stuff like that. Okay,
Exactly.
I could
And
tell
like
you,
Sheldas is saying, the Skinwalker, they've been throwing that name all over the place.
I could tell you for real. Okay, I'm not saying that demons do not exist, that evil does not
Nope.
exist. That's not what I'm saying. It does exist, but not as we see it. You go on YouTube. Go on YouTube presently right now. Anybody, I dare anybody in the chat, stuff. Tap found a demon while investigating, and you'll have like 20,000,
Oh,
20 billion
it's
videos
gonna
about
pop.
that.
And those clickbaits. Oh,
Well, clickbaits.
well,
I
It's
have a
the
problem. I have a problem with those, but not a problem. You're trying to bring people to see your content, to see what you're doing. To a point, it's understandable, but to a certain point, to go to the extreme with your clickbait, that's stupid. Sorry,
exactly.
sorry.
And
You
Sam's rat, Art and Paranormal. It's hard to convince people that have been brainwashed for so long.
exactly.
And I've seen good people in chats throwing out there saying, "Oh, get out of the house! You're gonna get hurt." And you clearly see that it's a stage up freaking poltergeist
I'll I'll
activity.
let you on a small secret.
So,
Okay, in some live chats, when you see people like that, we did tests. Okay, example, you're sitting there, and I would say, "Hey, Harley, you have a hand behind you, trying to grab your poster behind you." People in the chat would go, "Oh yeah, I see the hand, I see the hand," but it was just a story I was building up. So more and more people are like
yeah.
that, are saying anything on the chat because the other person is saying that. So it becomes a lot of things, and a lot of those creators, instead of saying, "Listen, we're doing paranormal, but for the entertainment side of the thing," no, they're saying that it's paranormal. So when you see that, they all think it's all the same paranormal and stuff like that. But there's paranormal for entertainment, what you see as it is. They will fix up stuff and then and yeah.
Like Cobalt Dragon said, the problem is people believe the clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
They will take it for change. It's a clickbait. No, he wasn't attacked by a demon. He wasn't. You wouldn't probably be here if he was attacked by really by a demon. I don't know. I never saw
You
somebody
know,
really
and
attacked.
some people will say, "Oh, we're saying that because we're jealous and stuff like that."
No.
You can ask Hardy. Hardy knows me a lot. I'm the guy. If you want to start a paranormal team, I'll be there to help you. You want help to for stuff, I'll be there to help you. I'm not there for the money. I'm not there for the numbers. I'm basically there to explain to people what real paranormal is. Not the type of people to go out and do Hollywood stuff and stuff.
Me, I do my investigations. I want to show to the people the proof that I brought, but
Hmm.
I wanted to make it appealing to the eye. Check every video that I make, and all that I do is try to debunk everything that is happening. And that's my way of working. In
Hmm.
the Hinsdale house, the first time I put my key on the freaking doll in the case, it started spiking up. The first thing I looked for, it was for a wire.
Hmm. So that's basically what you need to do when you do a paranormal investigation. Before starting screaming demon and ghost and this, you have to demystify the facts from reality and fiction. You
Exactly.
have to do your diligence also. Okay.
Exactly.
What a lot of people do not do. I'll give you an example. Here in Quebec, I will not tell you the group. Well, actually, they're not a group no more. The guy was on TV, okay, took a movement detector and called it a K2. Yeah, see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah. And Cobalt Dragon, it isn't jealousy. The film need genuine investigators. And that's true. You have excellent paranormal investigators out there. Tommy amongst the tombstones. He's like me. He's trying to know what the frick is happening. Check out Helena, Wolfhound Paranormal, Whipping
Till the
Willow Paranormal,
people,
Cassie.
till the
Uh,
people So the
through the
people
veil,
do
Nico.
so the people do not understand what it is to do a real paranormal investigation and continue on doing the clickbaits and stuff like that and following those type of people, following the drama and stuff like that. That's not real paranormal at all
No, no.
whatsoever. I'm not jealous. Like I said, I'm here to help whoever tonight you write to me and say, Dom, listen, I need help to for this. If I can help you, I
I
will
want
try
it.
to do my best. If I cannot, I will try to find you help that will help you out. That's real paranormal. That's
Exactly.
what paranormal unity is. It's not being the best this having the best numbers, having the best. It has nothing to do with the numbers and the fame.
I will bring great big creators. I will bring Lomar. I will if Angelo wants to come, I will bring Angelo to talk. No problem at all. But I will bring people that when they investigate, they look for the same thing that I am. I've worked with Angelo, and if I catch anybody out there saying that Angelo fakes anything, he will find me on his way. Because I think Angelo was the biggest debunker that was the night that we were in Hinsdale. He was looking at everything. Is it the phone? Is it and we heard shy that both of us were looking at each other. Did you hear that? Yeah. And that's it. The person that will document what he sees on the moment. If he's got like 2 or 3 cameras, it's just because we want to give you guys another point of view of
Mm-hmm.
the place we're in.
Yep. Different angles, different kind of views, but it's also for us also to have different kind of view.
Yeah,
Sorry
Welder
for that.
Mr. Gray, Cobalt Dragon, and Beardo. Check out Beardo. Beardo is awesome. Beardo, we got Shake and Mr. Gray. Great debunkers, and those guys are, oh yeah, yeah, they're really awesome. And uh, my hat to Shake because that guy, he goes above and beyond to debunk. He will check at every freaking detail in a video to debunk it.
I'm that type too. You can ask a lot of people. I still have investigations from the past 5 years that I'm still going through. I'm not sure, and when I'm not sure about something on a video, I will not post that video out because of that. Because I'm not.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Dom was cut abruptly. But like it's like Dom is saying, if you're not sure, or it's even me sometimes, I will go by the rampart. Well, is it me? Yeah, it was me, and probably it wasn't. My triangle, my flux, when I was showing the range, I was pulling my hand away, and it lit up. It's what
It's
I cannot explain that will show you.
it's always good to do demystification of something. You hear a knock on the wall, find out why it's knocking. It's you know, it's easy to say, "Oh, a spirit just knocked on the wall." Yeah, but could it be the pipes moving? Could it be the walls, old walls, the nails are popping, etc., etc. There's different types of reasons. Try to find a reason. Once, like you said, once you have no
Yeah.
like logical explanation of the situation, then you can tend and go on the paranormal side and say, okay, it was paranormal. But till
Yeah.
then, Don't jump. Don't jump. Obviously, if you got a full body apparition in your face,
You
you
got the
know,
Holy Grail.
you had the holy grail. You know, I don't think you need to demystify that one. But yeah, but everything, even shadows. If you see a shadow in a hallway, try to find why there was a shadow there. Could it
Animals.
be a light passing? Could it be a car outside doing a shadow trick or something?
Yeah.
Demystify before claiming something.
And old buildings. Old buildings, they will crack. But you will know the difference between a crack or a nail popping and a knock or a
Yeah,
thud.
Nicole is talking about possums. Yeah, no,
Rats.
rats, mouses.
Mices. And many old homes have mices, or well, like we have here in Quebec, like field mice. We call them mulots. But you and bats. Oh yeah, Marcus, bats. Those freaking bats. But
Pigeons.
when you do it in an abandoned building, you will have bats. You will have
Pigeons.
pigeons. You will have every type of freaking sounds you can possibly can imagine. But everything then paranormal. Sorry,
Hmm.
sorry, I'm yawning. Been live for an hour 36 minutes. I've busted my record. Is Dom coming on for a little goodbye?
Yeah, I was just smoking a cigarette. That's why I was
It's
still there.
okay.
But yeah, sorry. I was reaching for a cigarette.
You guys, I hope that you liked the little lecture that I've did tonight. I went out of my comfort zone a bit, but I think I've liked it. I've liked the little concept of teaching, and I think I'll go in depth and more of probably history about places that I will investigate and probably come and present like all the historical facts are behind the place that it will investigate. That would be cool.
Hmm.
What do you think?
Well, it's on my side. On my side, I go directly to that. For me, history is part of of everything. So you need a history to be able to put your finger on stuff to investigate. So I tend to do that a lot to get the information about the place where we are, the dates and stuff like that. I find it's interesting. Obviously, I'm a freak of history. I'm a freak of whatever's paranormal. So yeah, so mix both together works properly, works super great. So on my side, for me, it's already automatic. Yeah.
And yes, Sam, I will join you on your live stream this Sunday. Just send me the link and I'll be there. All right? And for everybody else, thank you for being here and thank you for following that old veteran about along his journey for discovering is there life after death. And
You're doing a great job, bro, man. And you're not getting enough credits on the work you're doing because you're doing amazing work. So people that are in the chat, which I doubt presently, if they're in the chat, they're probably sub to you. But if you're not sub to my brother, Hardy, please do so. Go see his content. He has amazing content, amazing history, history with attached to the content. So please do support what he does because he does amazing work.
well, thank you. Yes, Sam, I know on your panel. Yes, on guess on your panel. So just give me a message on Messenger. All right. So you guys, I'm gonna end this like I always end my videos. I'll catch you on the next paranormal